Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey SKATEDOWN. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe with the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. I want to do a big Devils video. You know, there's been a lot of rumors that I've been seeing the last couple of days, and a lot of big names linked to the Devils and possible names the Devils could be looking at. So, you know, I wanted to do a video on that. There's been some recent signings. There's been some recent talk of who may not come back. And, you know, talks about a lot of free agents and what Fitzgerald may do in the upcoming draft and for free agency. So stay with me to the end. I have a lot of information in this one. So let's start with the recent signings. The Devils re-signed Ben Street, Brett Seney, and Josh Jacobs to all one-year, two-way deals. Ben Street is a $750,000 NHL, $425 AHL. Seney is a $700 NHL, $250 AHL. And Josh Jacobs is 700 NHL, 130,000 AHL. And talk about the players that they don't plan on negotiating contracts with: Freddie Claesson, Brendan Baddock, and Kevin Rooney. Now, Kevin Rooney was the name on that list that shocked me. Other two, not so much. But you know, I thought Kevin Rooney worked pretty well on that fourth line role, but they're not going to bring him back. But who can they look at to fill a spot? You know, enter Mike McLeod, enter Nathan Bastian. We have a lot of players in Binghamton who could get promoted to that role. If they have a strong camp, if they have a strong, you know, whenever camps reopen, if they show a strong showing, they can take that fourth line spot. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. Ray Ferraro recently talked about Damon Severson, how he would be a good fit for the Vancouver Canucks. He said that he would be a good addition. He can skate. He's got a great shot. He's a right shot. He's the guy that makes sense. I think Severson could come at a cost that would be more affordable than Dumba. And this was came after the whole Dumba rumors were going around for Brock Boeser. There was a talk of an even swap of these teams with these two players based on their cap was the same. It's very similar. But, you know, nothing happened with that. But now enter Oliver Ekman-Larsson into the deal. You know, there's a lot of talk about him possibly being traded from Arizona. Arizona's having cap issues, and I don't know why they're moving him, but he's got a hefty contract. So if he's going to Vancouver, you know, there was three teams in the mix for him. It was the Oilers, the Boston Bruins, and the Canucks. He said he would like to be going to either the Boston Bruins or the Vancouver Canucks. So both of those teams are going to have to make drastic changes to try to fit him onto their team, as he has a hefty cap hit. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. So, if the Devils were looking at Vancouver to possibly be trade partners with, you know, they're a good team to grab some players from. And I don't know who they would have been talking about for Severson, but I don't know what's going to happen with this if they're looking for Oliver Ekman-Larsson and not Severson. So keep an eye on these teams, as Vancouver and Boston have to shed cap space. Devils have cap space. We'll see if anything happens with that. Now getting to Kyle Palmieri. Now, Kyle Palmieri is very interesting because I heard talks of him possibly re-signing, and that he's on the trade bait list. So I don't know what's going on with him. So let's talk about both situations. Pierre LeBrun recently talked about an extension is in the works. A source suggested that a conversation was more about uncertain nature of NHL landscape and maybe better to wait a bit before deciding on extension. And Kyle Palmieri was number 6 on Frank Saravelli's trade list. I was shocked when I saw his name there. But, you know, and there's been other teams that are being linked to looking at Palmieri. As per Roger Dickland, the Flames are showing strong interest in Kyle Palmieri. You know, could the return be Noah Hanifin? You know, we're looking to upgrade at defense. They said they want to make a trade to possibly add 2 defensemen. Could Noah Hanifin be one of them? And I think that'd be a good addition. And there's recent rumors coming around about now that before Taylor Hall was traded, Taylor Hall was going to go to, well, they were talking about a deal for Taylor Hall and Sammy Vatanen going to Calgary for Sam Bennett and Noah Hanifin. So could this be where they're kind of renegotiating those talks about to see if there's a return that could be worked out for Palmieri and Hanifin? I don't know. We'll have to see. And the Buffalo Sabres have also kicked the tires on Kyle Palmieri. So could we possibly see Kyle Palmieri move to the draft? You know, Buffalo holds the number 8 spot, so Devils have 7. Could they land one of those high-touted defensemen like Drysdale or Sanderson? If they fall to him, then grab a scorer or a forward at 8, or vice versa, grab a forward at 7 and a defenseman at 8. Very curious to see what happens at the draft. The return for Palmieri is going to be very big. And, you can count on the kind of the same return that Blake Coleman got. High prospect, high pick, and possibly other things thrown in the mix. So, it's going to be a tough call. I don't want Palmieri traded. I love what he offers his team. He's a potential candidate for being captain, our next captain. I might do a video on that in the next coming weeks. But, I love Palmieri. I really do. I think he's a true devil, and I would love to keep him around, give him another extension. But, the reality is Fitzgerald's in the mold of trying to add younger players that have elite talent. So if he can do that and gets kind of sort of what the Blake Coleman return was, he may do it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. There's discussions going on about new deals. They're ongoing for Jesper Bratt and Mackenzie Blackwood. Per Mike Morial, the Devils could pursue Alex Pietrangelo in free agency. That's what Fitzgerald said. And that kind of goes against what he talked about in Speak of the Devils. He's not looking for a quick fix, that he's looking to add players around the same age group. He said that when he was talking about moving that 18 or 20 draft pick, he said it would be for someone we control, a top 6 forward, a top 4 defenseman, and in the age bracket of where the group is at. And he was speaking primarily of the younger kids like Nico and Jack and, Ty's age and Blackwood, those players. So to add Pietrangelo, totally going against what he's saying there, but, a lot of people want Pietrangelo. Some people don't. I really don't. I don't want to spend $9+ million is the rumored going rate for him now. I've heard as high as 9.25 in some cases. And that's a lot for a 30-year-old defenseman who's got a lot on those tires. So, but he is still a great defenseman, brings a Stanley Cup pedigree. We'll have to see what happens with the situation. It's going to be very interesting to see where Pietrangelo goes. A lot of rumors surrounding him. Friedman was on his 31 Thoughts. He said, I can see the Devils interested in Mikhail Sergachev if he's available. In theory, a first-round deal, a first-round pick, I think he meant to say at a minimum makes sense. At a minimum. Both sides have to want to do it. I think the Devils will be very active. And I think they will too. Dan McKinnon came out and said that they're looking to add, which I was shocked about hearing, they want to add a top 6 forward, 2 defensemen, and a third-line winger. So, could this be one of those defensemen he's looking for? And I really love what Sergachev offers. I really watched him very closely in these playoffs, and this kid is a beast. He really is. And I know his production is kind of on the downslope the past couple of years, but, man, when he's out there, he's a beast, man. He's very physical. He's very physical for his size. He's got a booming shot. He's a good defensive player. We've seen some plays where some guys were trying to go around him, using speed against him, and he caught up to them and used his stick very good. So I really like what Sergachev offers. I hope the Devils are in on him, but it's not going to be just for an 18 or a 20, first-round pick. It's going to have to add a lot of other things. And, he's a great young defenseman. I think Tampa will do everything in their power to try to move other players to sign him and keep him there. But keep an eye on this as they're up against the cap, and they got a couple of other big names that they want to sign in, I believe, Chernak and Cirelli. So we're going to have to see what happens with this. A lot of rumors of potential offer sheets going Tampa's way for these guys. So we'll have to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. We saw trades happening during the playoffs. We're going to see a hell of a lot happen in these next couple of days leading into the draft, going to the draft day, and as free agency comes and the new season comes. But always consider next year is going to start, possibly they're talking about January. I'm sure there's that time frame where they can be a certain percentage. I think it's 10% over the cap for a certain amount of days, but then they have to go down. So some teams may wait until that period to make some moves as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun the next couple of days. So stay with me. If anything happens, I'll do a video on it. Comment below what you think about all these things I mentioned in the video. I know it was long. I apologize, but I want to mention all of them. And, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. Join the hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Have a great day, and take it easy.